What do you really like about living in Paris and France?
What I really like about Paris are the architecture. Everywhere you walk, there's beautiful house-built buildings. Apart from that, I love the food. You have the best of the best chefs, working here and giving you French food from bakeries to pastries. And lastly, I'm a big museum girl, so I love going on museums every month. Every first Sunday of the month, the museums are free. So I've gone to the Louvre, Musée d'Orsay, Orangerie, and it's all for free and very beautiful.
I like/love so many things about living in Paris. I feel people here are creative, open, there's a good work-life balance, and they're supportive. And Paris is more like a hub. We can see people all across the world. So it's like everyone living together, and we get to know different cultures, different experiences every single day.
Bon, j'aime Paris. Déjà, on dit c'est la capitale de la mode. Et moi, je suis une personne, j'aime beaucoup la mode déjà. Et j'ai choisi Paris parce que je parle le français. Et je me suis dit, si je viens vivre à Paris, ça va m'offrir beaucoup d'opportunités pour la profession que je fais. Et exactement, j'ai eu raison de choisir de venir à Paris parce que j'ai énormément d'opportunités ici à Paris.
I think here in Paris, everyone gets its own chance to become who they are. There is plenty of opportunities. You can be whoever you want. You can study, you can work, you can pursue your passions, your dreams. It's just really beautiful in general. I don't even really know how to explain it. It's just really open for everyone.
What do I like about? I mean, it's a different culture. Living in Europe is really cool. It's a different mentality. The food, especially, I love the food here. I mean, bread, I'm really addicted. But I think it's just the experience of living in a new culture, different language. I mean, the architecture here is really nice. That was one of the first things that took me a while to just, people here just walk around like it's nothing. I mean, the first days I couldn't stop looking at the architecture. People in the US, it's a different lifestyle. We don't frequent so many people because we're on our cars. You go home, I mean, you work and you go home and that's it. Whereas here, you're constantly surrounded by people. You're more confronted to social confrontations with people. So I really like that about Europe.
I think it's the mobility. Like in Paris, you have all, and you can move very easily in other way in French, and also in other country in Europe or other country in the world.
So I like that here people still read newspapers. I love it. I like that here people take their time during lunch break every single day, and they make it as long as possible and they enjoy themselves. I like that here people really smile, and it's with their whole heart. I feel it, I feel embraced. I don't feel any kind of barrier of this thing and this makes me enjoy kind of every day even more, yeah.
Living in Paris, when I walk around Paris, I never take it for granted. It's just the views. We live 1.2 kilometres from the Eiffel Tower, so it's an easy walk to the Eiffel Tower, to the river, and you walk past all these iconic buildings and amazing architecture and history, and it's just, wow, I live here. Yeah, I love the food shopping, the boulangeries, the fromageries, the greengrocers. It's like going. I'm 58 years old. Sort of had a lot of time growing up in the 70s, and some of these shops, the fish shops, the butchers, just like going back to the 70s, with all the display and all the fresh produce. It's amazing.
So I love living in Paris, that there's so many opportunities of doing something. So even if you were going to do something cultural or something special every day of the year, you would still miss out on things, you would still have to choose. And if I compare that to my hometown, there's one great thing you can do in the year and you can decide to do it or not. And so, yeah, it's full of opportunities, and depending on your interests, you can always find something and you can find your crowd.
There's a lot of things that I like about Paris. I really, really like that it's a walkable city. I feel like there's not many cities like that. It's really convenient to get around with all the metros, bikes, you know, and it's affordable. I like that, like, food is very important here, so all the quality of ingredients are a lot better here in France, I find. What else? I feel I really like that people really care about what they wear and like the quality of their clothes, their shoes, just like going back to the quality of food, you know? And yeah, the quality of life. I feel like there's a really good like work-life balance here. A lot of people are happy, at least I think so, in my experience. And you know, it's a really nice city. It's not bad to look at when you're walking around, hey, so, you know.
What do you like about living in Paris?
Everything. Sorry. I like the ambience, yeah.
Vibe.
The vibes, yeah, yes, vibe, and the people also. I don't know why, but I like it because I don't know. And I live there, so that's literally my city. And also, I really like art, and there are a lot of art here, like museum, like I said, or just an exposition, a lot of exposition.
Yeah, there are a lot of activities to do there.
I love Paris as a whole. You can really feel the magic when you walk around, especially when you're crossing paths with the Eiffel Tower, especially at night. You can look up and you just really embrace the beauty of it. So I find that I have many special moments like that in the city. Just on my way to work, to school, wherever, I look up and I just see like beauty everywhere I am. That's my favorite thing. On top of that, I love the culture here in terms of food, because I find that French people really appreciate their food and meal times. It's a time where you sit down and you don't do anything else but talk to the people you're around. You take your time to eat. That's why meals are so long. And I find that the quality of food is actually higher. In comparison to where I'm from, I find that the laws are stricter, so the quality of food in terms of individual ingredients is just better. For example, you'll eat a tomato and it's going to have 10 times more flavor than a tomato in Toronto, Canada, in my opinion. You can find cheap food, but that's also very good quality. Anywhere you go, you can find different types of restaurants that serve good quality food. And as well, you can also have good wine pairings for not so expensive. You can find a glass of wine for €3. 3 to 5, 3 to 6 euros, depending on where you go. So definitely food for me.
You know, living in Paris, it's actually, to me personally, it's very subjective. It's like living in a big outdoor museum, to be honest. Maybe partially it's because I'm very fresh here, but it's an amazing city. You can't walk here and not admire the architecture, the buildings, the balconies, the beautiful doors, the door holders. Every little detail just attracts your attention. So yeah, it's full of admiration. I don't even mention museums, because the cultural and historical heritage is just huge. So there's a lot to discover.
So many things I like. I think it's a really great place for artists and for anyone who loves art and culture, because it's constantly inspiring. I think the best part for me personally is that you are never bored. There's always something happening. There's always something to see, something to do. And that was always my problem, because I was living in a smaller towns, and it was always, I would get bored easily, so I would have to travel or do something else. But here I don't have to go anywhere. I just move to a different area. If I want a change of the scenery, I can literally hop on a metro if I want to go to India town, or if I want like a completely different vibe. And yeah, just walking around the city is inspiring to me, and that's the most important thing that I love. pretty much. And I like that it's not too big as well. And I can meet people from all over the world like you. I love that I can be exposed to different cultures, which is what I was missing in my home country.
There's energy. When I walk outside, I can feel it in my bones, and it's radiating through my feet. And I just feel it's magical for me. And from the moment when I was a tourist, before I even had the dream to live here, that's what I felt. And there's something about the city in the morning that I just absolutely love, absolutely love. And coming from the East Coast, coming from the United States, where the sunrise and the sunset, they're pretty standard. It does, move around a little bit. But here, you can wake up at 7 in the morning and it's completely dark, just because we're so north. And I love starting my day, feeling the energy, and seeing that juxtaposition, this big city in the dark, and people starting to bustle and hustle around, seeing shops open, and then seeing the sun. And it's like two different Parises. And the energy is definitely what it is for me.
Is there something specific that you can pinpoint why there is this energy?
Oh, gosh. Maybe it has something to do with the history of the city. Paris is a famously small, compact city. On the metro, you can go from one side to another in about 45 minutes, maybe 55, which is just so cool. And so many people living here. And so you get that also, you get that mix. I love that Paris is, France is, liberté, égalité, fraternité, and you can feel it in Paris. It's a mix of everyone and everything. And when you're open to that, it really is beautiful. The downside is when you're closed off to that, it can feel very oppressive living here as well.
So starting with me, I would say the large choice of events to attend. Musical event, art event, expos, shows, professional gathering, and job opportunities. And in my specific case, most of my families are in Greater Paris.
As for me, what I like about it, it's the whole transport network. You can get very far in the whole region, which is very good because some other cities don't have a good transport network. As my dad said, the events, because Paris is a very cultural city. It's a city with a lot of things, with like arts, with the Musée du Louvre, the Stade de France. We've had the Olympic Games recently, and so it's a very big capital with a lot of things to do, very big events, and so there's really a lot of things to do. You can't really get bored unless you don't look for them. That's what I like about it, and school's amazing.
School is amazing.
Yeah.
Why would you say school is amazing here?
School is amazing because of the people that attend my school, at least. They are amazing for me, they are good friends. We work hard together, we try to achieve things together, we go out hanging out in some places near where we live. Yeah, so they are good people.